everyone. This is Erin Andy, your librarian, and we're continuing our series about how to set up a great faculty Google site. And in our previous video, I showed you the different ways in Google that you can give people access rights. So every time you create a hyperlink, every time you embed something, if you have a YouTube channel, I didn't show that one, but if you have a YouTube channel, you have to set how public the item is, okay? Everything is determined by what level of access you're giving someone. How much can they touch it? What can they see, what they can't see? And if you do it wrong, you could potentially be in violation of something, whether it's law or confidentiality or a contract. And if, or even if you did it wrong, you didn't violate anything, it might just be a headache because people can't get what they need, okay? Setting the right access is important. This video shows you how to do it in Microsoft. We do have Microsoft 365, which is Microsoft in the cloud. And so if you prefer to work in that format when it comes to your documents and things of that nature, you certainly can work there and upload to your Google site the same way. Okay, so just remember, I'm in my Microsoft 365. So over here in their version of the waffle, there's Outlook. I'm already in, but when you log in and you see that line of stuff, there's Outlook, there's Excel, there's OneNote, etc. We're learning to all use Teams. So that's one. Forms is their version of a Google form. I'm going to show you today two that I think are of big interest, big potential for a Google site, and that is obviously Word and then one called Sway. Okay, so Word obviously could be used for things like a syllabus or a brochure or a worksheet, things of that nature. And in many respects, it looks very similar to Google. Okay, you have the share here, and you have the share here. And then remember, OneDrive is kind of their equivalent of Google Drive. So things to be aware of. But they have some things that Google doesn't, and some different things, some pros and some cons. So let's take a look. When you share in Microsoft, once again, it's all about what level of access you're giving. So there's anyone with the link can edit. There's anyone out there. People in EBR school, they have to prove that they are a person in the district. People with existing access, so people who've already given rights to, very specific people. This right now is set to allow edit. So if they have this link, then they can change your document, or you can set it to not allow edit. So that's effectively a view. This is kind of cool. If for some reason you only want something available for so long, you can set an expiration date, and after that they can't get in. You can set a password. So if you want to add that extra layer of security, you could add a password. You can block the ability for them to download. Okay. If you have any questions, there's that learn more right there. So think of it's similar. I'm not really seeing a comment so much, but I am seeing some extra levels of things like the expiration date is kind of cool. So different things to consider. This would definitely be one that could show up on a Google site. Another one that I think is underrated and people don't realize as much, you guys see it, but you may not realize it, is Sway. Okay, so I use Sway for my monthly library newsletter. And I've had several people over the last year say, we really love how that looks. What'd you make it in? Well, I made it in Sway. Okay, and Sway is very purposely designed for that concept of something like a newsletter or some type of read. Okay, adds a little bit of movement. You can add pictures, so it becomes a really fun, nice, interactive piece that you could put something on, like a monthly class newsletter to parents or something. So this is August. I know it's slightly September now, but this is the August one. This is what happens when you're sick and you've had hurricanes. But this is the one that you'll eventually get. And so I have been setting out various items for you. This is me in the storyline version where I'm editing it. Play is where you can see how it looks. But then look right here is share. Okay? So share, notice, pretty similar, little different, but pretty similar. I can share with just specific people. I can share it with people in the organization with a link. I can give it to anybody with a link. I can invite people to view it or edit it. So currently this one is set up for people in my organization with the link, and they may view it. All right. One thing that's kind of cool is I can get a visual link. So rather than just, a hyperlink, it can be a visual one, a little more of a picture. There's that embed code that I talked about earlier. Sometimes it can be hard to find an embed code, but here it's right there. I can also do more options. I'm going to move myself for just a minute. I can give a password if I want to, and the viewer can see share buttons or not see share buttons, their ability. And then when I'm done, I reset the share settings. Okay. So once again, what level of access do you want to give someone? This one gives some different levels than the Google. It might work better for you. It might not work for you. But think about which type of document you're using, and then think about what level of access you want to give them to. It can be done in Google. It can be done in Microsoft. It can be done in other programs. Canva is a program I use a lot for our social media, and I can set the links in that one so it can share in view only, edit only, etc. So this is becoming a very common thing once you understand this concept. Working in the cloud becomes much, much easier. Okay, if you have any questions, please let me know. If not, have fun setting up things on your faculty Google site.